Hello, everyone. We're going to start reading chapter 11 here in a minute. But just to review, at the end of chapter 10, Glory and Frankie discovered that their pool was closed for repairs, the sign said. But Frankie shared that his dad, who's on the town council, said that it was really closed to keep the colored people out. So chapter 11. Miss B says hogwash. I banged open the library's front door and charged in. Miss Bloom sat at the big checkout desk. "Hello, Glory," she mouthed. She mouthed the words as she patted the chair next to her. I sank down into the hard wooden seat and propped my head in my hand. "I assure you that won't be happening," she said into the phone. She straightened her back and spoke very slowly, one word at a time, like maybe the person on the other end of the phone wasn't hearing too good. "We will not," she stopped to take a deep breath, "be removing," another breath, "library chairs. Anyone who wants to use the Hanging Moss free public library is welcome here. Unlike the town council's pool committee, I will never allow the library to close." Then Miss Bloom hung up the telephone with 2 fingers so carefully that I thought maybe it had cooties on it that she didn't want to touch. "Are you mad at somebody, Miss B?" I asked her. That was one of my board members. They worry that there's going to be trouble at the library. They're suggesting that I remove all the chairs so anyone they think doesn't belong here won't be welcome to sit down. Miss Bloom fiddled with the box of paper clips on her desk. Or they say to close it altogether. "Over my dead body will the library close." "The pool's closed," I told her. "Frankie's daddy claims it won't open in time for July 4th, the picnic and the parade." "I've worried about that." She shook her head and she sat back in her chair. "It's a shame." "I might not go to the stupid celebration anyhow." I twisted my ponytail. "Glory, you love the 4th of July. It's your birthday." Miss Bloom peered over her cat's eye glasses. "Besides, Laura is counting on sitting with you." "The parade's the same stupid thing every year." I crossed my arms and slumped deeper into the chair. A bunch of old men carrying flags, a parade queen with a fake crown, Mrs. Simpson and the Esters in their muumuus and bathing caps covered with plastic flowers perched up on the highest float like they own the town. I looked at Miss Bloom. What fun's a July 4th celebration when it's blazing hot and there's no swimming pool? Do you think anybody'll remember it's my birthday? Not even Jesselyn. Even if I have a party, Frankie's daddy won't let him come. Everything is going wrong. I stopped to catch my breath. How can anybody think closing the pool is fair? "That's a lot of questions, honey." Miss Bloom pulled a big book off the shelf behind her and dusted it with her hanky, which was embroidered with cats. When she slipped her hanky back up her jacket sleeve, she set the book in front of me, real careful. "Look here. We have scrapbooks from every celebration," she said. I pointed to a faded picture tacked down with little silver triangles. "Who's that funny-looking man?" "Your friend Frankie's grandfather when he was young. You see there? He owned the first car in town, and he decorated it up for July 4th. Miss Bloom turned the scrapbook's crumbly black pages. "Stupid Frankie says his dad won't let him play with me anymore because of Laura." I looked at the picture of his grandfather sitting in that old car. I thought about Frankie and about Laura and Jesselyn. How some friends seem born into your life and others just pop up when you need them. But shouldn't a sister be both kinds of friends? Jesselyn used to be both, but I was starting to wonder. Now Miss Bloom turned to a picture of the swimming races from long ago. "What's wrong with our pool?" I asked. "Do you think it'll be open by July 4th? Some people are unhappy it's closed, and probably just as many think it ought to stay that way," Miss Bloom said. "A few of our citizens would like to see our whole town shut down tight, even the library. Or at least go back to the way it was in Frankie's grandfather's day," she said. "But that is not going to happen." I reached under the desk to pet her cat, Bobsy. I felt like climbing under there to curl up in the coolness next to Bobsy. "There's nothing wrong with the pool, is there?" "I don't think so, Glory. At least nothing that can be fixed with cement. Hanging Moss is all mixed up about a lot of things. We have to figure this out. Work together. But if you're worried about the pool, maybe you can do something," she said. "Oh, sure, me, 11 years old, get people like Frankie's hateful daddy to open it up, to let everybody in town swim." I kick at the desk in time to the cat's purring. "Gloriana, it's not just about Frankie's father who counts. First of all, there's the law. Believe me, if the law says that the community pool stays open, sooner or later, it will be open." "Yeah, well, I don't understand that, the law and all." "Look here," Miss Bloom turned to a row of newspapers hanging on a rack of wooden rods. She opened the Hanging Moss Tribune to a page of letters. "Do you see these? Are those what people send to the editor of the paper? Daddy told us about those letters. I wanted to see them, but Jesselyn claims I'm too young to read them." "Hogwash. You read whatever you want to. If you have a mind to, I do believe you could write a letter yourself." Miss Bloom handed me a newspaper. I sat up straighter. I turned the paper toward me. "Dear Editor," one started, "I am writing to express my displeasure at the way that the Hanging Moss Town Council has responded to the recent upheavals in our community." That was sure a heap of words, saying nothing. "Can I borrow some stationery, Miss Bloom?" I asked. "I can write a letter better than that."